Let's move over to the game that's this weekend, and that's Syracuse versus number 1 Clemson. The spread, though, last time I checked, could be the highest spread in an ACC history, maybe college football. I don't know. I think there might have been one higher than that, but you get close to the 50-point range, you might as well turn it off at this point. But they're not going to. They're going to. Right now, I'm seeing it on OddsShark, minus 46, a 46-point favorite. And I'm just going to double check that. I'm just going to go back on oddshark.com, which is the website we use, and I'm looking at it again. 46-point favorite. The predicted score by the computer, 58 to 10, 58 and a half to 10. Well, there's no half points. So 58 to 10, which would be a 48-point win, which would put you right over the cover. 71% of the nation right now is picking Clemson to start out. 100% of the nation is picking the over, which is 61 and a half points, which you got to think that's probably a good one there. I think Clemson can do that for sure. But let me give you a little bit about the game coming up October 24th, 12 p.m. Clemson has a 99.4% chance to win, according to ESPN's Football Power Index. Babers was asked about his message to the fan base coming up into this weekend, and he said this, I quote from Dino Babers, the coach of Syracuse: "We've got a lot of young people playing, and we're going to have to get better." He reminds them of the Virginia Tech and Clemson upsets, and then he says they just need to have faith. I don't really know if faith is going to salvage your season, considering that we already predicted Syracuse to be one of the worst teams in the ACC. They've lucked up and won a couple of games. They won against Georgia Tech, which I did not think that they would. Thought that was crazy. But I give that to home field advantage in that sense. But still, I think Dino Babers is on the way out. If you look at his record, outside of that 10-win season that everybody wants to give him all this credit for, and yeah, he's a great guy, but he's 14-27 when you take away that 10-3 season that he had. Even with Eric Dungey, he only had one good season with Eric Dungey. The other seasons were 4-8. Last year he was 5-7, and right now he's, I think, 1-4. So definitely not on the winning side of things. Kind of down around the range of being a terrible coach, to be honest, if you take away that 10-win season. I don't know why they're keeping this guy around. Tommy DeVito, his star, his stud, is not going to be playing this game as far as I can tell. He's out injured with an ankle problem. But Rex Culpepper came in last weekend against Liberty and threw for 211 yards. That would have been the best game this season for Tommy DeVito, the star, the guy that's supposed to take over and carry on the 10-win seasons for the Orange. It's just not looking good for Syracuse. I got a stat here. Clemson hasn't been this heavily favored over an FBS opponent since 2006 versus Temple. And again, like I said, is there a big game that Clemson needs to overshadow and dominate again? Yes. It's not just one big game. It's all the big games of the Big Ten returning to college football. So I'm predicting a big-time win from the Tigers. I know you guys are going to tell me this. I always say stay away from the 40-point spreads, but we can't stay away from it. So in that sense, I'm taking Clemson to cover the spread at home, number 1, dominate and win. So give me Clemson to cover 46. Al, what you got?
Well, I got to tell you, when I have my Syracuse preview up, I wish y'all could see my notes, because all I have is the heading Syracuse preview, and under it says, yikes. Okay. Because this should be bad. They've got nothing. I mean, I thought their best player was Cisco, their safety, and he's gone, I think, for the rest of the season. There's nothing good on offense to talk about. There's really not that much good on defense to talk about. It's just a bad situation. And however, Yeah, like you said, man, you get really uncomfortable with these big spreads, especially when you're playing Clemson, okay? Because, yeah, we could have scored 100 plus on Georgia Tech if we wanted to, and we didn't. And I understand we scored 73. That's a lot of points, and it's a lot more than we usually score. But that doesn't happen very often, okay? It's not all the time you're hitting on all cylinders like that. I am going to say enough plays are going to be made by Syracuse to keep the chains moving at time, to run some clock. We'll have a lot of backups in, and I'm anxious to see if it goes quite as well for them as it did the other day. I can't see the 46-point spread working out well a lot. It may work. It may very well beat me and bite me in the tail on this particular pick, but Clemson's not going to cover a lot of 46-point spreads over the course of the year just because of the way and the nature that they play. I am going to take Syracuse to cover this 46-point spread.
Ooh, can I just motion this to already be one of these vacated picks? I feel like this isn't something that we for any of us three that are picking this game, this is kind of a lose-lose situation. Because I mean, you pick Clemson to cover, and they give up a garbage time touchdown at the end. Yeah, it's not a good look, and that could very well happen, which I think could be the possibility. I think Clemson's going to come close to covering. 46 is a little much for me, considering that if Clemson kicks 2 field goals versus 1 touchdown, and Clemson wins 55-10 versus 56-10. There may not be much of a difference, but it'd be a huge difference for somebody who's betting the game. I'm going to take the points for Syracuse. Clemson still wins this game big, a lot. They're going to be playing a lot of backups in the second half, but I just think 46 is a little much for me. So I'll say Syracuse points. Clemson still wins big.
Water a little too hot. So am I a lone wolf in this?
You are the lone wolf, my friend.
Well, I didn't have the button ready, but now I do. Lone wolf, baby. And my husky, she just freaked out when I did that. So we need to come get her on the screen here. Come on. I made her a little bit. I made her a little scared here. Come here, baby. Oh. All right. She gets to say hello. If you're listening to the podcast, you probably have no clue what I'm doing. But just imagine a black and white husky on the screen that's terrified because I just did a wolf.